Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob, and I'm going to be flying solo for a little bit because Frank is being held up at work. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob, joined very shortly by my good friend Hollywood Frank. Got held up at work today. You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the news wrestling. You can also follow us on social media. It's in the description and scrolling below. But yeah, Frank got held up a little bit. You know, life happens. And so we're just going to hang out until he gets here so we can make our predictions for two wrestling shows this weekend. WWE's Wrestlepalooza and AEW's All Out. So we'll be going into that. Touching on some more of the news that happened this week. Solo Bob, where's Johnny? I don't know, man. Johnny's you know, he's got some problems with his internet connection and everything like that. So if he can make it, it's cool. If he can't, you know, it's understandable. But if he's able to, he'll drop in here. But I don't hold him to anything like that. But interesting week this week in wrestling. Like I said, we had a lot of setup for Wrestlepalooza, as well as All Out. And we got both the cards set up and some interesting news going on. Obviously, some very unfortunate things going on in the world. Death of Charlie Kirk, as well as the just recently, I found out the death of actor Robert Redford, who's actually one of my favorite actors. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid's one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's unfortunate, but it is the nature of the world. We are all destined there one day. Father Time is undefeated. So, but hopefully everybody's doing well. And hopefully you guys are going to have some fun watching some good wrestling this week. So it should be some great matches. Should be some interesting angles going on. There's an awful lot of news. A lot of news going on. So, but like I said, I'll keep you entertained till my boy gets here. Big Daddy, he's like his first one here. He said, hey yo, Big Daddy. Appreciate you, man.
Hey yo.
Check out the Guardian of Chaos, his YouTube channel. Lots of awesome clips and stories from his days as a manager, professional wrestling. Big Daddy's a lot of fun to watch. But about you guys, how's your week been? Other than the obvious. Some very interesting stories coming out. So, what do you guys think about what's going on with The Rock, the weight loss and all that stuff? Because I didn't know this, but I did know this, but he had a health scare not too long ago. He had a cardiovascular checkup, and they diagnosed him with a plaque buildup in an artery, and then he was recommended to go on lifelong medication. But apparently, he got a second opinion and determined that it was a anatomical variation and not a health risk, which that raises some red flags. And then, of course, so this, all this weight loss that he suddenly suffered. I don't know if you guys, let me see if I could pull up that picture. He lost a ton of weight. Rock weight loss. So let's see if we can get a good image of him here. Yeah, here we go. Open image in a new tab. Let's kill that. Nope. Here we go. Share screen. Share. So that's pretty startling. Now he says that he was he claimed he was about 270 in the picture on the left. I'm calling BS on that. I think he's closer to 300 in that picture. He's jacked beyond jacked in that picture. And now he says he's down to 240. So I think he lost a lot more weight than he's claiming. Obviously, there's the the obvious question, was he on steroids? I think the answer to that is pretty obvious. And there's a lot of speculation going around that the real reason why he claims it's because he took a movie role. There's a movie coming out where he plays a character called the Chicken Man. And the character is a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a 70-year-old chicken. So obviously he's claiming that he lost the weight for that role, which, okay, maybe he did. But there's also rumor going around that he lost that weight. Yeah, he doesn't look good. This is pretty. I wanted to. Here we go. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. So yeah, you look at his face, man. Like, just look at his arm. Like, it's his legs. Look at his legs. He lost a lot of volume in his legs. A lot. So any question about whether or not he was on the sauce is, that's out the door. Yeah, I'm whether it's a movie, yeah, I'm hoping he's okay too. Regardless of what the excuse is or what have you, you don't want him to, you don't want him to be ill. Because we've seen, like in the past, people with these rapid weight losses like this, and a lot of times it's because the person is sick. Like the first person that comes to mind recently would be Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther in the Marvel Black Panther films. He was fighting cancer for a long time. Yeah, definitely was juiced to the max. Trust me, I know. Oh, dude, I don't think there's anybody. I mean, you look at this picture, and just look at his legs. I don't think there's any argument about whether or not he was on gear. He was 100. Look at his neck. Like he lost a lot. He lost a lot of volume. He lost volume in his neck. Obviously, his face. But you look at his forearms. You look at his arms. You look at his legs is where it's really noticeable. So, and in his chest area a little bit. So, I mean, hey, look, he's not a wrestler anymore. It's more than likely he'll probably never wrestle again, given the situation. So, whether he was or wasn't, he doesn't really need to be on the sauce anymore. So, he's an actor. He could still, play a lot of the roles that he was playing before if he's just in really good shape. He doesn't have to be jacked to the gills. So, whatever's going on with him, hopefully it's not health related. And if it is, hopefully him, getting off the gear and taking care of himself will help him deal with that. So you don't want to see anything bad happen to the guy. I mean, he's not a spring chicken anymore. Let's see, how old is he? He's in his 50s now, I believe. The Rock. Yeah, he's 53. So he's my age. And I know how bad my body is torn to crap. I'm not even anywhere near having been put through the freaking rigors that this dude has. So, yeah, hopes and prayers. You know, basically, hopefully he's okay. But we'll see. His daughter certainly had an interesting take on what happened with Kirk's murder, but I'm not surprised considering who she is. Yeah, it's, you know, that's how it's a lot of talent in WWE are kind of like connected to that Hollywood crowd, especially these days. Yeah, 100%. Although my understanding is there's a lot of talent over there in WWE and AEW as well. They were voicing the exact opposite opinion, so she might be in a little unfriendly water there. But yeah, it's, you know, and it's, you know, it's just typical stupidity. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care if you agree with the guy or not, with what the guy was saying or not. Nobody deserves to, you know, have that happen to them. But hopefully somehow we can get some people to wake up. And you know, although I've seen some pretty ugly stuff coming out of it, but hopefully, you know, just keep your faith in God. You know, today's wrestling industry means the talent is very interesting, to say the least. Oh yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what. That's another big question about that some people were saying is like, you know, should WWE kind of go back, because for a long time, I know other companies didn't do it, but WWE would actually kind of control your social media, and they would prevent a lot of their talent from, you know, doing stuff like that, from tweeting about things like that. You know, because obviously, you know, if you have a take that's very controversial, that could reflect negatively on the company. So Big Daddy said it's definitely a generational thing, not traditional to this country's values or its history. No, and I think that's a big part of what's happened is I don't think, especially the last generation or two, I don't think they don't think they have any national identity, and that's a big deal. That's a big problem. You know, you got people out here, you got friggin' people like Ilyan Omar out here saying that Somalia is a better country than the United States, and it's like, are you serious? You know, it's like, shut the hell up, you moron. But you know, it's kind of what's been cultivated. So, but I have seen some, you know, signs of things changing. So we're hopefully, you know, you know, get this country back on the right track, man. Get this generation back on the right track. But yeah, the under 30 demographic does not like our country. Well, a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. And again, that's an idea that's been cultivated. And that's a big reason why, you know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, because, you know, like I said, whether you liked him or you didn't like him, what the guy was doing was he was engaging with the youth, and he was proving to be very effective. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate. What about you, Big Daddy? Were you a Robert Redford fan? I mean, I mean, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, man. Come on. You got to have been a fan of that movie. That movie, him and Paul Newman, good Lord, man. That movie was so awesome. But, I was actually just like thinking about, like his like movies of his that were like, like some of my favorite movies. And, there were a lot of them. You know, he was, you know, like, again, whether you liked him or you didn't like him, he was an amazing actor. And I think I think the last movie I saw him in was Captain America: The Winter Soldier. He played a really cool character in that. But, you know, like, movie like Spy Game, Sneakers. Sneakers was the last movie. No, Sneakers. Like my favorite movies with him. Sneakers. A River Runs Through It. The Natural. One of the best baseball. I mean, still one of the best baseball game movies of all time. I think. Bridge Too Far. He was in some great stuff. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, classic episode. Yeah. He played yeah. When that episode, I don't even think I think they didn't even name him in that. I think he was named, he was using a different screen name or something in that episode. Yeah, it was him and the old lady. The old lady took him in because he was injured, and it turns out that he was actually dead and he was there to take her. Yeah. What are your top matches this weekend? That's a good question. The matches that I think most people's eyes are going to be on. Obviously, I do think that, overall, even though the ticket sales for both shows is pretty close, I think WWE's presence is going to be much bigger. I think a lot of people, there are going to be a lot of eyes on Cena versus Brock. As far as that card is concerned, though, I think the two best matches on that card, the WWE card for Wrestlepalooza, I think the two best matches are going to be Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, and Io Sky and Stephanie McCour. I think those two matches are going to be the two best matches on the card. Obviously you got Jimmy and Jey Uso back as a tag team versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, which, considering the talent that's in that match, it should be good. But I think those two matches are going to be the best matches on that card. On the AEW side, oh man. So I'm a little pissed off at the AEW card because they've got so many of these triple and four-way matches going on in this card. It's like, why can't we just have, a regular old 2-on-2? Why do you got to keep doing this gimmick crap? And they're doing it so much. I think there's 5 of them on this match. Yeah, you got a 3-way. You got the Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. You've got the Tornado Tailgate Brawl, which is an 8-women tag match, which is on 0 Hour, which I won't be watching. Even the AEW Unified Champion, you got Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita. Right there's your match. But they're going to put a third person in there, and it's like, why? Which the only reason I can think to put a third person in that match is so that that person can eat the pin. But then you're killing the drama between Takeshita and Okada. Then you've got the tag team championship is in a freaking 4-way ladder match, which is ridiculous. And then there's another 4-way with Toni Storm, Thekla, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. Toni Storm versus Thekla versus Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. It's like, why? But of those matches, I think Hangman versus Kyle Fletcher is going to be awesome. I think MJF versus Mark Briscoe is going to be. I think those two matches. If I had to pick one match that I think is going to be the best match of all these, it's probably going to be Hangman versus Kyle Fletcher. I'm really excited about that, and I'm glad to see Kyle Fletcher being elevated like this. I definitely think that dude's a star in the making, and with Swerve and Ospreay on the shelf, I definitely think that that's one of the guys that Tony Khan can lean on. Hopefully, AJ Lee is a question mark. Tony Khan likes to use half the roster on a pay-per-view. Yeah, dude, man, it's freaking 10 matches. 10 freaking matches on a pay-per-view. Good Lord. That is going to be a long freaking show, man. A long freaking show. But I'm actually kind of really interested in the Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill, because Eddie might not be the best wrestler in the ring. He's got great presence. But I like Bill Morrissey. I really like Bill Morrissey. I think he's one of the best big men in the business right now, and he's being completely wasted over there. So getting him out there and getting him into a match with someone that's over, I mean, I don't know why Tony Khan doesn't didn't put him with MJF or something, and just let this guy be a freaking killer. But and he's freaking popular as hell. The guy's over for him every time they're in the ring. Dude, we were talking, so I was actually talking to somebody, and we are talking about how the creative in WWE has kind of taken a hit over the last last like year, about the last year. Yeah, Steiner and Reed, yeah. Zero out of the 3 or 4 matches too. It'd be 14. Yeah, by the time they're done, it's going to be like at least 12, 13 matches. It's ridiculous. I decided to just hang out and talk to everybody, Frank. So, we're not going to do, we're going to wait till you get here, and then we'll do our predictions and everything like regular show. So I'm just chit chatting with everybody, talking about just regular stuff. And, talking about Robert Redford and the fact that he passed away, which I thought was really sad. But yeah, Big Daddy, you're a big baseball guy. What do you think about The Natural? Like I always thought that was one of the better baseball movies. Like the two baseball movies that really pop into my head. And again, I'm nowhere near the baseball fan that you and Frank are. But the Natural and For the Love of the Game were like, those are like the two baseball movies I think about that are like at the top. And I know there's a lot of them on it, like was it 8 Man Out and Bull Durham. I didn't really care for Bull Durham. I mean, it was okay, but what was it? Then there was it Moneyball, Major League a comedy though. Moneyball's more of a realistic film. The Natural is solid. Yeah, it's a good dramatic. I mean, and maybe it's not the most realistic. Maybe it's not the most realistic depiction of baseball or what have you, but I just thought it was it's just a really good baseball movie. But yeah, like Moneyball, I thought Moneyball was a good. For the Love of the Game is probably the best baseball movie I've ever seen, in my personal opinion. I don't know about you guys. There's there's a bunch of them. Like I remember, what was that Disney movie with Dennis Quaid, where he was like was that based off of a true story? I can't remember. Was that where he was like the old guy? Who like his team, he was like a coach or something, and his team convinced him to go to try out again or something like that. What's up, Leg Kick? Appreciate you, brother. The one with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis. Baseball movie with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis. I'm pulling a blank on that one. Like I remember, it was the one with Clint Eastwood where he was the scout. That was a good one. Trouble with the Curve, I think is what it's called. Damn, with Gina Davis. Oh, I know what you're talking about. League of Their Own. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was about the ladies in the 40s, right? I think that one was all right. Field of Dreams, Mr. Baseball. Oh, Mr. Baseball. That was the Bull Durham, Brewster's Millions, Mr. 3000. Mr. Baseball was the one with Tom Selleck, right? Where he was on the Japanese team. I think if that I'm trying to remember. Brewster, I forgot Brewster's Millions. I forgot that Brewster's Millions was about a baseball player. That's right, because he pays to like have a baseball game against the Yankees or something, right? Yeah. Mr. 3000. Who was that? That was Bernie Mac, I think. Yeah, there was a bunch of them, but like, yeah, those two, I thought, like, For the Love of the Game was just awesome. The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. That's the one I was talking about. The one where he was the old guy, the guy who because I think he left to like help take care of the family farm or something. So he never like really got a chance to go. And then he becomes a pitcher in his like 40s or 50s or something like that. But yeah, I remember that scene from Mr. Baseball where he's on base with that dude and he's like, "Hey, you got any pictures of your wife? You want to see some?" Tom Selleck was a very underrated actor. I thought I always liked Tom Selleck. But yeah, Robert Redford was a great actor though, man. So it's really unfortunate. But yeah, Butch and Sundance will always be my favorite movie that he was in, based on a true story. So it was based on a true story. Okay. But oh Lord. But so yeah, so was it there was another story that came out. It's not related to the pay-per-views or anything like that, but there's another story that came out where the TKO executive, TKO Chief Operating Officer Mark Shapiro was talking about the increase in ticket prices, WWE's ticket prices. And he was kind of tone deaf on the question, because he basically confirmed that the Bad News Bears. I remember that. That was it Robert Mathau? Yeah, I remember that. He was the little league pitcher, the little league coach. But the thing about the original GOC, but the thing about them hiking the ticket prices up is that he's actually saying he wants to increase it even more, which a lot of people are looking at this and they're thinking that the plan is they're going to price out regular people. It's going to get to the point where you're not going to be like it's only going to be certain people that will be able to attend WWE events, because they've already jacked the price up. I think someone said they jacked the price up 250, 300%. And he's talking that he wants to jack it up even more. So he said basically his let me see here. Let me share this screen. And we'll look at this story together. So a week after a clip went viral with a fan questioning WWE head Nick Khan about the increasing price of W tickets, the message apparently didn't get through to TKO leadership in terms of what's to come. TKO Chief Operating Officer Mark Shapiro spoke at the annual Goldman Sachs Communacopia and Technology Conference Wednesday. And in talking about ticket prices for both UFC and WWE, he said, WWE is not where the UFC yet is on ticket yield. We have our work to do there. We know we have a lot of room there because Vince McMahon is primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't focused on maximizing the opportunity there. See, that's a very tone deaf thing right there. You know, basically they want to price families out of this. Which is ridiculous. Now that we've seen what we can do with UFC, we're replicating that in terms of ticket yield and holding back and advanced sales when it comes to on location on the W side. And it's working out really well, he said. A term used commonly by concert venues, airlines, and hotels. Ticket yield is considered a measure of the average revenue generated per ticket sold, maximizing revenue with the goal of selling all inventory at the right mix of prices. W live event and hospitality revenue finished at $185.7 million for the second quarter, up $41.4 million year over year, partially attributing to a higher ticket revenue. Both WrestleMania 41 and Night of Champions were in the second quarter. Shapiro hasn't been shy about saying publicly this year that TKO sees tremendous upside in increasing tickets. Jeez, they're going to increase them even more. Good Lord. An example used Wednesday was UFC shattering previous records to become the highest grossing event in the history of Chicago's United Center. Jeez, man. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely insane. Seems like everything is trying to do that. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. Being able to do that is insane. There's my boy.
For a guy who says he doesn't know a whole lot about baseball, you know a whole lot about baseball.
I know a lot about baseball movies. I don't know jack about baseball. You know that for a fact.
The Natural is one of my favorite movies.
It's one of his best movies he ever did.
I also liked his movie with Dan Aykroyd and Ben Kingsley, and I believe it was River Phoenix was in there, and Sidney Poitier. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Sneakers.
Sneakers, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I
love that movie.
Yeah, I actually put The Sting. Yep, I remember that. I actually had a list of like my favorite movies that he did, and Sneakers was one of them. But yeah, he had he did like 2 or 3 movies that were like a couple of my favorite movies of all time. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is always going to be like one of my top 10 movies of all time. That movie's so good, man. Him and Paul Newman together were so good.
Yeah, every time The Natural's on, I try to watch it.
Yeah, and it holds up.
It does.
It holds up, which is a good thing. But did you see that this story I was just talking about with TKO exec Mark Shapiro talking about they want to jack prices up even more?
Oh yeah, because Vince McMahon made the prices for families, and that's not good enough for them. Should be charging more, like they charge for UFC, yeah. So yeah. you're gonna price you and I and the rest of the Joe public out of going to Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and even definitely the pay-per-views.
Well, they're close to doing that now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My cousin talked about how his family he said that they've gone to WrestleMania the last 4 or 5 years. And I asked him how much his tickets were last year, and he's like, they were $2,500 a piece. And that's not for floor seating or anything like that. So for four people, that's $10,000.
If Tony Khan is smart, he will take and do whatever he can to keep his prices
low,
reasonable for the fans.
Yeah,
that you start outpricing John Q. Public and keep the prices reasonable for AEW, you're going to see an increase in AEW fans.
Yeah, and hopefully that will translate to viewership. But I couldn't believe that when I said he was like, they actually want to increase it even more, which is insane.
If you're going to increase them at WWE, you better increase the quality of what you got going on there.
Yeah. Or you better start running every show in freaking Saudi Arabia.
That is, did you do GBU?
Nope.
Yeah, that's part of my part of my GBU.
Yeah, we're gonna do that right now, as a matter of fact. So now that my boy's here, the show can start with Ernest, and we go ahead and get into our favorite segment, a little something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's his turn this week.
My turn. My good. Toni Storm continues to be the best female wrestler today. Her thing with looking has a kendo stick that says Sandman on it.
Yep. Had that overalls like the Sandman.
Yeah, overalls. Yep. Yeah, at the 20 out in Philadelphia. That was awesome. Tribute to the Sandman. I love it. Great to see. And again, Toni Storm just continues to impress me. And then the fact she said she has no desire to go back to WWE.
Yeah.
When she's done with AEW, she's done wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, she was pretty spot on about the fact that when she was on the main roster, although I have to wonder if they would handle her differently now, considering how big she's gotten as far as as far as female wrestlers are concerned, and the fact that Vince's brain trust isn't there anymore. She's still pretty damn young too, dude. She's in her 20s.
It depends. I mean, yeah, they've put guys over, obviously Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. But then you for every CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, you have the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep. Motor City Machine Guns, Andrade.
Even I'll even say Penta and Phoenix.
Yeah.
They really haven't done what I thought they would do with those guys. So
they definitely cooled off with Ray.
What they would do with Toni Storm, I don't know, because I don't think she would be as pushed or as top ladder as she is in AEW. I honestly don't think she would.
No.
They have Mariah May, whatever you want to call her, I don't know, Monroe, whatever. What have they done with her? She's in NXT. She deserves to be on the main roster.
Well, that gimmick they've got her with too is just pretty piss poor.
So if you haven't done anything with the woman who had a great series of matches with Toni Storm, and you haven't really done jack with her,
yeah,
I don't get the feeling that they would do anything with Toni Storm.
It's interesting.
John, Jade Cargill. What have they done with her?
Well, that's like we talked about that. Like, she's tailor-made to be a WWE superstar, but she's actually, she's good enough that if you put her in there with somebody who knows what they're doing, they can pull a good match out of her. But she can't command a match on her own,
right?
So. But
and my bad is WWE TKO, whatever you want to call them, selling out to the Saudis.
Yeah, that's got a lot of people pissed off.
WrestleMania 43 or whatever number it is in 2027 going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to have Raw, NXT, SmackDown, WrestleMania, all that stuff in Saudi Arabia for the entire week. First off, it's in less than 2 years. You don't know what's going to happen in 2 years as far as any kind of conflicts over in that part of the world. From what I was reading, it's written into the contracts about having to go to Saudi Arabia now. So a lot of talent can't just say, no, I'm not going to do it. They write that in the contracts now that they have to go.
Yeah, I know there's a few people that they can still say no because they're still on their last contract.
Correct.
But the language that they're putting in most of the new contracts is like, you got to go.
I don't want to see Austin. I don't want to see Undertaker. I don't want to see Triple H. I don't want to see Shawn Michaels. I don't want to see The Rock wrestling in the ring. Those guys be damn near 60 years old, some of them, or haven't wrestled in a couple years. Do they get in shape? Sure. But do I want to see these guys? No.
Well, Shawn Michaels just had his friggin' knees replaced.
I don't want to see these guys.
Yeah.
Having to, like, hey, you have to. Like, no. I don't want to see the no more nostalgia. You're right, Don. No more nostalgia. Piss on that. You take it away from the people that you have on that roster that deserve to be in WrestleMania, to put some old farts, excuse me, because I'm an old fart, put old farts in the ring. Why? Yeah,
especially when you've got so much talent that's ready to go. Like, just start elevating. I know that, like, some of these people, like, they've got amazing talent in the ring, but in other areas that they're lacking, they've built stars out of people like that before.
And the women don't get over as much in Saudi Arabia as they do here in the States.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They just don't.
So it's going to be, I don't think Bianca and Charlotte and them, or even Alexa Bliss were thrilled to hear that WrestleMania is going to be there in 2 years.
Well, it's kind of funny you saying that, because they're talking like they think it's great. But then again, they're on a contract. So,
yeah. But selling out to the Saudis, like, how long is it going to, how much longer will it be before the Saudis buy TKO or offer to take WWE off their hands?
I don't think TKO would be interested in selling WWE, but as far as Endeavor, I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped a big enough paycheck in front of Endeavor. Endeavor would probably sell WWE to the friggin' Saudis.
Yeah.
Because but WWE is actually proving to be way more profitable for them than they originally thought. As a matter of fact, there was a story where TKO just bought back like $1 billion of their own stock because their revenue is increased by like it went up by like 3 times in the last 2 quarters. So now the shareholders, they actually increased the payout to the shareholders. They increased the payout to the shareholders, went from 38 cents to like 78 cents. So that's more than double. So it's like, we said it before, we'll say it again, dude. WWE is almost a license to print money.
It is.
So, I don't, but then again, you're talking about the friggin' Saudi royal family. They got the deepest pockets in the world. So who knows?
Yeah. And then my ugly is a couple things. I don't know how long she's going to be out. Miss Tiffany Stratton getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Add that to the long list of injured wrestlers. And then non-wrestling related, but the ugly was the unfortunate assassination for me of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, we touched on that briefly earlier. A lot of unfortunate things happening. Had that young lady that was killed on the bus. Senseless violence. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But yep, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody and their families, and then everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening to, be safe. Take care of yourselves, guys. But all right, my GBU.
Any New Japan on that?
Not this week.
Oh wow,
actually. Not this week. For me, a little bit of AAA though. Good. I had a couple of good things. Hey, what's up, leg kick? Yeah,
Dom.
Care. Yeah, be careful, bro. Yep, Dominic Mysterio winning the AAA Mega Championship. I'm gonna tell you. Let's say this, man. Like we talked about how we felt like he needed to change the way he wrestled. Stop trying to emulate his dad, which he has kind of done that to a certain extent. But of all the young guys coming up, man, I gotta say, I think Dom's the one who's probably stepped up the most. And I know there are a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, he doesn't deserve this." Dude, he's one of the most over heels in the business.
Yep.
So who else are you going to put it on? I mean, it wasn't working with Vikingo. So they're not gonna bring back Alberto Del Rio, aka Alberto El Patron. So what are you gonna do? Put it on Rey Mysterio? He's got the pedigree for it.
No, Dominic.
I mean, yeah, but and then this the angle where he forced his dad to put the belt on him and everything. Yeah. Like it was a good angle. So I thought it was good. Also, Nigel McGuinness and his wife expecting a child.
Congratulations to them.
I like Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, that's always a good thing to hear, man. People building families. And Nigel McGuinness, man, I like Nigel McGuinness. That match that he had at Forbidden Door was fantastic. One of, if not the best match on the card. So, and then also Eddie Kingston is back. He's making his return at All Out against Big Bill Morrissey. Again, like I said, Eddie, maybe not the greatest wrestler in the ring, but the guy's got amazing presence, and he brings up gritty realism to him, and he's over like crazy. And this is one of the guys that we said Tony Khan needed to get back. So he's coming back. I'm hoping that this thing with him and Morrissey turns into something, because, like I said, I think Bill Morrissey is one of the best big men in the business, and he's being completely wasted. So, and he's over. The guy's freaking over. You remember what they were when they went to All In? The way the crowd was freaking losing their mind over him, man. They were cheering him more than some of their bigger stars, man. It's like, good Lord, man. You got something awesome there. Pull the trigger. But that's my good. The bad, the crowd boos WrestleMania 43 announcement during WWE and AAA Worlds Collide pay-per-view. Yeah, crowd ain't into it. There's a lot of people that are not into this freaking move, man. And a big part of it, and there was Bully Ray on Busted Open was talking about this, and I don't always agree with him, but I think he might be right on this. Tony Khan, if Tony had half a brain, he would run a friggin' show stateside opposite of WrestleMania. Now, is it gonna now it's not gonna come anywhere near what WrestleMania is gonna do. Let's be real about it. Yeah. But like we were talking about, it's like, hey, we're gonna do a show here for you guys that's affordable. So come see our show. It would probably do pretty well for them.
Now, with it being overseas, every time they've had it in Saudi, they've had like a 1:00 start time.
Right.
So you're going to start WrestleMania at 1:00 on Saturday and Sunday?
Probably.
Then yes, I would run a show that night, Saturday and Sunday night, if I was Tony Khan.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you got nothing to lose.
No.
Like there's no, and like there's only a handful of people stateside that's going to be able to go to that show.
And either do it in Chicago, like Bully Ray said, or do it in WWE's back door. Do it either at Madison Square Garden or Las Vegas.
Could do that. Where was the place that it was supposed to be at and they backed out?
New Orleans.
You could do it in New Orleans too. Like kind of hey, they didn't give you your show, but we'll give you one. Something like that. But I think Chicago or Las Vegas would be better.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, I think it would be a good idea, because I think there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that are pissed about this. and for good reason. You know, this is just another one of those. This is just another nail in the coffin of the relationship between WWE and the fans, because it's clear TKO does not give a crap. But and then my ugly AEW Collisions episode averaged 235,000 viewers on TNT, down 21.7%. Dude, these are some abysmal numbers. This is bad. I mean, last week it actually went. I mean, it's not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago, but it's worse than it was, and it went up last week, but it only went up, dude. It only went up to 300 and something thousand. 300 and something thousand is terrible.
Yep.
Okay, if you're doing, and I understand that Saturday is a rough time slot. If you're doing less than half, like just barely break even for a TV show is like 500K. And that's not being successful. That's like barely breaking even. You know, now on Saturday, it might be a little different because Saturday is like such a messed up time slot. It's such a day for friggin' shows. But dude, 235,000? Dude, shows get canceled with ratings like that. Shows get canceled when they're making $500,000.
Yep.
And you're not even there. It's like, dude, Tony Khan and I think it was Jake Roberts was actually talking about they asked him the difference between WWE and between Vince McMahon and Tony Khan. And he said the thing about Tony Khan is that he wants to have his hands in he wants the storylines and everything to come from him. And Jake said that's just not realistic. You know, why do you even have a creative team if you're just going to be the one who inserts yourself into everything? And we said this from the start. Like he's going to have to give up some of the power in that company, or else he's going to drive this freaking company into the dirt. If the ratings, and look, I know that they're saying, oh well, you know, the online ratings, they're better, blah 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 blah. I don't care. If this is an indication of where your show's at, even if you got another 200,000 views from Max, which I don't think they're getting that, but even if you did, you're still below 500K.
Yep.
These numbers are abysmal, man. And I'll tell you what, you know, this situation with Paramount possibly buying out Warner Brothers Discovery via Skydance, I think that's the least of their worries, because I'll tell you what, man, if they do get bought out and the new owners look at these numbers and like, this is horrible, AEW might not get another friggin' deal after this one. So Tony Khan needs to get his head out of his ass and bring in some people that know what the hell they're doing as far as booking is concerned. And this thing where he doesn't want to book long-term anymore, that's killing them.
Yes.
That lack of long-term booking is absolutely killing them, because that's one of the things that AEW used to do best. The first 2.5 years of AEW's existence, long-term booking is what made that friggin' company. You know? I mean, that Hangman Page storyline between him and the friggin' Elite, that thing was 1.5 years in the making. Now, obviously, it got extended out because of COVID, but even so, it was a fantastic. Next to the Bloodline, it was the best story in wrestling. And they don't do anything like that anymore. It's ridiculous. But, all right, that's my GBU. Guys, if you want, you go ahead and post it, you know, what your good, bad, and ugly for this week was. But we're going to get into some predictions.
Yeah.
For both the shows this week. I'm actually going to take the predictions down so we can go over them and see just how well we did. So, Frank.
So I can say I smoked you again.
You've never smoked me. You've beaten me. All right. So Frank, let's see here. All right. So let's start with Wrestlepalooza because it's the shorter show. So the card as it stands right now, which they might add one more match to this, but I doubt it. I think what we got is what we're going to get. But we got the Usos versus The Vision, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I think, they're showing these, all this the drama between Jimmy and Jay, all that, whatever. And also with the situation with LA Knight. What do you think is going to happen here? I'll let you tell me what you think is going to happen, and then I'll give you my take.
Make you go either way. If the Vision is going to lose, it's going to be Bronson Reed again taking the pinfall. But
what do you think is going to happen?
I think the Vision is going to win. I think LA Knight's going to come down and cost them the match.
Okay. So Usos versus Vision. So you think the Vision's going to win?
Yeah. Due to outside interference, but
Frank, Vision. I think you're right.
I don't think it does any good for the Usos to get over. I really don't.
Yeah, and as far as like building up any kind of storyline or anything is concerned, I think what they're going to lean into, like maybe a feud between Jimmy and Jay, or Jay and LA Knight.
Yeah,
with maybe there being some drama between Jimmy and Jay or something like that. But yeah, I think Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker win this. And like I said, this could end up being like this. It's gonna be a good match because Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are awesome.
Yeah,
Jimmy and Jay are they're as a tag team they're pretty damn good. So it'd be a good match. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are gonna win. Women's World Championship, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vacour. This is an important one. This is going to be one of those things that's going to kind of make or break the women's division going forward, I think. I think they need to have Stephanie Vacour win this. With what's her name being out, with Naomi being out, and Io was just the champion.
Yeah.
You've got a chance here to elevate Stephanie, who's like we said, I think is ready to go. So, in my opinion, the person who needs to win this is Stephanie. And I think that I think that that's being so obvious. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Stephanie's going to win.
I hope so. I really do. I think she was supposed to win at Clash in Paris. Maybe not win the title, but she's supposed to win the match with Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
And long time coming. So put me down for Stephanie Vacour for the win and new women's champion.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it's the only decision that makes sense. Yeah, it really is. This is kind of strange, man. So, WWE undisputed heavyweight championship, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. They're actually saying that this isn't going to be the main event.
No, it's not.
It's going to be Cena, and it's going to be Cena and it's going to be Cena Brock
Lesnar. Yep.
Yeah, with with CM Punk and AJ Lee and Seth and Becky as a co-main event.
Yep.
Which is odd because it's your world friggin' champion, man. We've talked about this before, but hey, it is what it is. I got Cody winning this.
Yeah, they're not taking the belt off Cody.
No, not right now. They just put it back on him. Now I would like them to pull a friggin', swerve on us and put the belt on Drew and build up some kind of a feud between Drew and Cody, but I don't think it's going to happen. And it's extremely unlikely. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I think Cody's going to win this. I think it's just cut and dry. I think this is potentially be the best match on the card, though. What do you think?
Best match on the card. I think the Women's World Championship will be the best match on the card.
Io versus Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, you got Io's one of the, if not the best women's wrestler out there right now, and I think Stephanie's, really definitely on her way up there. So, but all right, CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. There is no freaking way in hell they're gonna have AJ Lee lose her first match back.
No way. No way.
So I got Punk and AJ Lee winning this 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we both agree on it. So far, we both agree. We agree on everything.
Well,
that's unusual.
Can always change.
Punk and AJ. Now here's a question: how good do you think AJ Lee's going to look? Everybody is gushing about this bump that she took.
I think AJ Lee is going to look better than Nikki Bella.
Okay.
And better than Trish Stratus in her last couple matches.
You don't think the neck injury is going to cause any, like the bad neck is going to be an issue or anything like that? It's going to like change her up or anything?
No, I think they'll play off that a little bit. With her and Becky Lynch in the ring, but no, I think AJ Lee is going to put up a decent match. Is it going to be 5-star? Hell, no. For AJ, no. But it's going to be better than anything Nikki Bella's done the last couple of years. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I think Punk and AJ are going to win this, and I do think that AJ will look better than Nikki. That's not going to be hard.
No, and I think AJ scores the pin over Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think she gets the pin. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This one's interesting.
It is.
Because on one hand, I don't think they want to have Cena lose again in his last few matches, but at the same time, they don't like Brock losing either. And they could do something where Brock, maybe he loses, maybe he's, kind of downtrodden with that, and then they slowly build him up for his final match at the end of the year. Maybe they do something like that. I don't know. My brain's telling me that Cena's going to win this. That we're going to get the return of Super Cena, and it's going to be he's going to get a win in this. The thing is who are you going to have his last match against? And is this going to build into that? So,
his last match is in 3 months.
Yeah.
And neither one of these guys has many appearances left.
No. So what do you think they're going to do?
What's their record? Is what has John Cena and Brock Lesnar? I'm sure they've had matches, but I don't know who's won.
Let me see the record. See here. Brock holds the head-to-head record against Cena. 4 wins to Cena's 2. Lesnar won Lesnar won the first 3 matches, culminating in Cena's win came in. Yeah, okay. So the first 3 times they faced off, Brock won, and then the last 3 times that they faced off, Cena won twice and Brock won once. So Brock has a 2-win lead on him.
Yeah, they're not going to have Brock lose back-to-back matches to Cena. Are they going to do 3 with these guys? I don't know.
Yeah.
If this was a one-off, I'm going with Cena. I don't know if they're going to do just a one-off. If this is a couple matches, then I go with Lesnar, but I don't know how it's going to go.
You think it's going to be Lesnar?
You've already got. Is this going to be the main event?
Yep.
Then I'll go Cena winning because I've only got one heel winning, and that's the Vision. Every other match, I've got the baby faces winning.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a conundrum, man.
It is. Yeah, but I'm going to stick with what I said. I'm going to say Cena wins.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I don't know that.
As much as I don't want to do it,
I don't know what the situation is with Brock. I don't know if it's if he's back for good or if he's just back for a one-off or what the hell's going on. So I still think that even though they haven't admitted to it, I still think that the final match is going to be him versus Randy. I think we're going to get Randy's heel turn at the end, and it's going to be him versus Cena. But yeah, I think Cena's going to win this one. I agree. All right. All in. Good Lord. This is going to take a minute. Let's start the bottom. Pre-show. Don't care. Tornado Tailgate Brawl 8-woman tag. Willow Nightingale, Mina Shirkawa, Harley Cameron, and Queen Anama versus Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Megan Bain, and Penelope Ford. Don't care, but I think the friggin' the babyface will win that. First real match that we have so far: Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill Morrissey. I can't see Eddie losing his first match back. Although I would love to see Bill get a match where he gets a win over a major talent. And then they start elevating him. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to feed him to Eddie.
Yeah, I can't see Eddie losing on his return match.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to do that. So we both agree. Dude, so far we've agreed on everything.
It's not over yet.
No, it's not. So Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill. It's going to be Bill Morrissey. All right, Herd Syndicate versus Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. Well, the Hurt Syndicate, they agreed to lose their tag belts.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to lose 2 big matches in a row. I don't think they're going to agree to that. So I think Hurt Syndicate's going to win this. What do you think?
I'm going with RBT.
Okay.
Ricochet, Bishop, Toa.
Okay.
I think this might start some dissension in the ranks of the Hurt Syndicate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can see that. RBT. All right. That's our first disagreement. I just can't see the Hurt Syndicate being willing to lose two matches in a row, two big matches in a row. But I think that would be the best choice. I think them building something like that, some kind of drama like that, because I want to see those guys in singles matches. But okay, I that's going to be an interesting one. All right, this is one of the matches I think are going to be one of the best matches of the night. MJF versus Mark Briscoe, tables and thumbtacks, no DQ match. It's going to be bloody.
Yeah. One of several bloody matches.
Yep. I've got MJF winning this. I would like them, like I said, because we talked about how Mark Briscoe is one of those guys that they could elevate to fill that slot that's missing with Swerve and Ospreay. I don't think they're going to do that though. I don't think that Tony Khan is ready to do that with Mark Briscoe, and I definitely don't think he's gonna put a loss on MJF like that. What do you think?
Much as I like Briscoe, you're still elevating MJF because he still has the ability to challenge for the
world title.
And Briscoe is not winning this match. It'll be good with all the thumbtacks. It's gonna be bloody. Briscoe's gonna have a lot of pricks in his back, but
yeah, it's gonna make Jon Moxley kind of jealous. But
yeah, we'll get to John in a few minutes.
Yeah, I don't think. But I can't see them putting a loss on MJF right now.
No,
because I think he's been. I actually think he's being groomed to take the belt off of Hangman.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. I mean, this is Darby's match.
It is.
And I think John is at the point now where he doesn't mind putting somebody over. I think this is a long time coming. I think this is when Darby finally gets his win. So I got Darby Allin winning this. You don't think so?
Nope.
Now, I don't think it's a good idea, but that's what I think is going to happen.
I think the rest of Moxley's crew comes down. Yeah. Can we possibly see Sting make an appearance? It's possible.
I think it's possible.
But I think with all the outside interference coming down, I think
you think it's Moxley?
I don't know who else would come down to help Darby Allin besides Sting, because he's going to be outnumbered.
Yeah.
With Claudio and oh my God, Marina and oh my God,
Daniel Garcia.
No, not. Oh, Daniel Garcia came not helping. That's right. Yeah. But with Claudio and oh my God, Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
And Marina Shafir possibly coming down. You're going to need some help. Maybe Daniel Garcia and freaking Willow Nightingale come down. Who knows? But
I think Daniel Garcia definitely gets involved. I think they're going to set something up between him and Darby.
But I think John wins.
Okay. I can see that. I just think that because of what happened with Darby and everything, that they're going to lean into Darby.
And this is gonna be another bloody match because Darby and John will pulling out all the stops to just bully the crap out of each other and do stuff that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And the crowd will be chanting "Holy shit!" because Darby's gonna do some
for the sickos.
Yep.
Copeland and Christian versus FTR. I think Copeland and Christian win this because I think they're going to eventually put the tag belts on
them. Yeah, I see that. I think that's going to happen too.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I think we're going to get one last run with Copeland and Christian. Yep. They're going to end up winning the tag team belts. They're going to. I don't know if they're going to take them off of Bandito and Brody King, but whoever the champion is when they decide to pull the trigger on it, I think they're definitely going to be taking the belt. So I got them winning this over FTR.
I agree with that.
Okay, well, another one we agree on. So far, we've agreed on everything except for one.
Two.
Oh, two. Yeah. The Hart Syndicate match and then the MJF. I mean, the Moxley Darby Allin. Gotcha. But yeah, I think because I think that's the plan is they're gonna set those guys up for tag team championship run.
Yeah,
and that'll probably be it. At least for Copeland. All right, another match. Okay, so this is a match that I have a problem with because one, we don't know who the third person is, and two, this is the match that everybody's been wanting to happen with just the first two guys. So, and it's pissing me off. AEW Unified Championship was still a stupid freaking name. Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita versus To Be Decided in a 3-way. Why? This match would be fire with just the two of them.
Yeah.
It would be the shit with just the two of them. Why are you sticking a third person in? The only reason I can think of them sticking a third person in is so that there's a third person to take the pin. And that being the case, who the hell is it going to be? Who's it going to be? Because it's not Ospreay. It's not Swerve. Who's the third person going to be? I think it might be Kenny Omega, because he's got history with both of them. Okada and Takeshita are both Don Callis guys. I think this match, though, is going to be the beginning of Takeshita's face turn. I definitely think that's what's going to be leaned in on this, which is why I think Kenny being involved might be what's going to happen. So we're going to find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to find out tomorrow, but I can't think of, like, I'm looking at the roster, AEW roster, and I can't think of anybody else that they would insert. Now, there's people that I would insert in here, but they're not going to do it. Like, I think Josh Alexander would be awesome inserted into this match. Buddy Matthews would be badass as hell. Somebody said that they think maybe Chris Jericho.
I hope not.
I think Jericho's definitely going to come back. I just don't see him going into this. Someone else said Claudio as well. Because there was that story about Claudio's contract and all that. I like I don't think he's ready to come back, but I would love to for Jay White to be a surprise in this. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the third person is going to be somebody that takes the pin. And
I can see that.
So to me, that says like Kenny Omega. That says like I'm trying to think of somebody that's at least medium wise in that card. Like Roosh maybe or something like that. I hate the fact that this is going to happen, but whoever it is, I think Okada retains, and it's by pinning the third person. I don't think Takeshita is going to get the pin, and I think this is going to be the beginning of Takeshita's face turn. What do you think?
I can see that.
Do you think that's going to happen? That the third person is going to be the one who eats the pin?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the only reason I can think of that you even insert this person in there. So Okada with third person taking the pin. Yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense. And I wish that it was just, the two of them. And I think eventually that's what we're going to get. We're going to get the two of them by themselves. But yeah, this has the potential to be, one of the best matches of the night. But we'll see. TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné versus Riho. Riho. Hey man, it's one of Tony's friggin' favorites.
It is.
Back in the day, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna take a friggin' chance here. I'm gonna say that Riho takes the TBS title off her.
No. Nope.
You don't think so?
No.
All right. So Riho for me, and Mercedes for Frank. Mercedes. You don't think they're going to start taking some of these belts off of her?
Not yet.
All right. I think with Riho coming back, I think they really want to push something big with her. Now, I could see something like Camille showing up and like causing a DQ by beating the hell out of Mercedes, and it's like, oh well, you inferior match, so automatically Mercedes wins. But I don't know. I just got a weird feeling, man.
Nope.
But could very well be wrong. But we'll see. All right. So there's another disagreement. AEW World Tag Team Championship, Bandito and Brody King in a 4-way ladder match.
Against?
They haven't announced it yet. We're going to find out tomorrow. And it's going to be 3 other teams. Why? I don't think I think they're keeping the belts.
Yeah, they're not taking the belts off them yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Brody Bandito. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for them to do it. And especially in a schmoz kind of match like that. Unless they're gonna bring in a tag team that's gonna like shock everyone, like maybe Roosh and Sammy Guevara, in Los Facciones Gobernales. I don't know. But I have a hard time believing they're gonna take them off the belts off of them in a match like this.
Yeah.
But all right, we both agree on that. AEW Women's World Championship 4-way match. Jeez, God, again. Tony Storm versus Thekla versus Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. Again, why? This is the 4th or 5th match on this card that is a three or better. And it's like, Why? It's freaking stupid. Tony Storm's winning this.
She is.
Yeah, they're not taking that. I don't see them taking that belt off of Tony anytime soon.
No. Nope.
So timeless Tony Storm will be the women's champion. Who do you think they are going to have take this belt off her?
It would be nice if it was Megan Bain.
I'd like to see that. I can definitely see that. That would be a great choice, as a matter of fact. I would really like to see Megan Bain and Camille put together a friggin' team and then just start smoking everybody. Dude, can you imagine if Megan Bain, Camille, Chris Statlander formed a faction and just started killing everybody?
I can also see a possibility of in either one of the matches. Oh my God, Cora Jade or Shayna Baszler showing up.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because I know what's her name? Marina Shafir has been trying to get Baszler to come in.
Yeah, and Baszler's been talking about AEW a lot. You don't think that that would be more like an interference in the Moxley match?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I think we both agree on who's going to win. It'd probably be interesting to see some kind of run in there.
Yeah.
All right, and then the match that I think is going to be the match of the night: Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher's not going to win this. I wish he would, because I really think that this is a time that they could really elevate him. And this is a time when you need to build a new star. And I think he's the right guy. I think this is the dude that can like kind of the way MJF did in the beginning, in the first 2 or 3 years in AEW. I think Kyle Fletcher is another guy that is just, he's right there. He's ready to go. But I don't see them taking this belt off Hangman Adam Page. What do you think?
I think it's going to be one of two possible outcomes.
Okay.
If he has the ability to cash in his option, MJF wins the belt.
I don't think he can do that, though. I think Tony said that they have to announce their intention a week ahead of time.
If he can't, then Hangman wins this match.
Yeah. Now I could see MJF getting involved in this match.
I can see also the Don Callis family.
Oh yeah. I think there's going to be some kind of shenanigans with Callis.
I think you really would have seen Wardlow put himself in there, but with him being hurt, he really can't be doing too much.
Yep.
Sat through a little bit on that, but if MJF doesn't have to call out his shot, he'll walk out as AEW champion.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, but and I think the third person in the Okada Takeshita match, I think that was supposed to be Wardlow. But obviously with him being hurt, they can't do that now. So, but I think that was the original intention. But yeah, I got Paige keeping this belt, and like I said, that outside of some weirdness with MJF. Now, if MJF announces on Dynamite that he's going to cash in, you know, and be like, I'm going to cash in, but you're not going to know when, and you're not going to win when during the match I'm going to do it, you know, or something like that. I can see something like that
because according to the stip on the gauntlet match, like I said, unless Tony Khan flipped it, because at All In he won the gauntlet match,
yeah,
which gives him the option to cash it in anytime he wants.
Right, but Tony
at the time of his choosing.
At the last pay-per-view, though, when he tried to do that and got stopped, then Tony Khan made that announcement that from now on you have to declare a week ahead of time. That you can't just turn it in whenever you want anymore. Which I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how all that works and everything, but
you are right. That came out 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, at Forbidden Door. So, but yeah, I think Hangman Page wins that, and I think those are our predictions, guys. We'll see how we do. 2 shows.
So since he can't call his shot because it's less than a week away, then Hangman wins.
Yeah, 100%. But all right, we'll see what happens. We're watching. We got a lot of wrestling to watch this week. But appreciate you guys. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. We got the late start and everything, but life happens. But appreciate everybody that stopped in here. Leg Kick, John. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Big Daddy.
Always love the Big Daddy.
Yep. It's fun talking about the baseball movies with you guys. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.